We're back for another episode of Rinks and Realities powered by the LI Sports Network. Travis Quigley once again here with my esteemed co-host, the banana himself, Paul Trentini, and our guest this week from the University of Georgia, Long Beach, New York, Declan Conway. Declan, so happy to have you on the pod, man. Thanks for taking the time out to come and chat with us.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me out.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. And I've known Declan for, I don't know, it feels like I've known every guest that we've had forever, but I've known Declan for, I want to say closing in on like 20 years now. It's been so long.
Yeah,
So
a long time.
We'll go back all the way back then, and let's talk about your beginning in the game. I wasn't there for the start of it, but I saw your might and squirt hockey playing days. So even before then, talk to us about when you first threw on the skates. Who was that early inspiration? What got you into the game of hockey, and what made you fall in love with it?
Hey, growing up, my dad was my first one to put me in skates, and I was lucky enough to have a rink in my hometown of Long Beach, just a 5-minute drive away. So just started off at kind of public sessions, wearing the skates, just going happy at ice with my dad, and also just from watching the Rangers growing up. That was always my team, and just kind of watching them and trying to emulate that and growing a bigger fan of hockey each day.
Now, every player for the most part has like that moment that kind of clicks. Like, was it this time at the public skates, or was it like as soon as you stepped into your first game, or were you like attending a game where it really kind of hit you?
I think for me, it was just the accumulation of all of it together, whether that be just each day kind of wanting to come back, just enjoy feeling on the ice. Even now, just stepping on, like before we recorded, we're talking about hopping back on the ice after a while off. That first step back, well, even now, your body might be a little sore, your gear's a little crusty. Just being on the ice is just a great feeling. I think each day coming back to that, getting off the ice, knowing how it felt, and looking back and realizing how I felt, it just kind of pushed me each day to just go back. And it was just a moment of having fun for me. It was something I enjoyed to do. And it was keep going. I'm like, this is fun for me. No reason to stop. And just that's how I ended up here today. Just accumulation of all those years together. So I wouldn't say it's just one exact moment.
And you talk about those early days being close to the rink, which is awesome. I think that's a luxury I think we all have, is being able to live like 5 minutes away from the rink. But I think the key thing you touched on, I think I relate to that a ton, is those moments on the ice, those first moments with your dad. Putting the skates on, being outdoors for the public skates, and just enjoying those moments and memories. And I think that absolutely helped foster my growth and love for the game, and I can hear it in you. It helped you as well, and I know your dad has been a huge part of your path.
Yeah, absolutely. And you even now, 20 years later, looking back at all those moments we spent together on the rink, just skating together, learning to stop with both feet, trying not to crash in the boards. And those are moments you never forget.
Yeah. Totally, man. Totally. So after all the learn to skate and everything, talk to us about, your youth hockey career, where you played on the island, and where that journey helped lead you to obviously to where you are today.
So I started locally so my first year playing travel hockey, youth hockey, was for the Long Beach Apple Corps. It was the first year the program was kind of brought back. It had taken a couple years off. Ownership changed. And I was lucky enough that to have a program out of my local rink where I just kind of spent my first 2 years playing there, which was great because I think 90% of the team was from Long Beach. I think the other 10% were from 15 minutes away. So those are the kids that grew up together. I have a funny photo where there's, I think, 10 kids or whatever it was from my team. I also won a state championship in high school, where I was 12 years later. So it was pretty awesome. Running around the hotel with those guys that you'd see every day in like elementary school was always awesome. And I think from there, sorry guys.
You're good.
And I think, so from there, after 2 years there, I ultimately went to Little Island Gulls, which is where me and Travis went for the first time. And I think I spent almost the majority of my youth career there.
Now you touched on something that I haven't even really considered about how your travel team was mostly people from like around like people you grew up with. I've never. That's very interesting because like typically like Travis. I mean, you know people from all over the place from where you were playing. Like you were in Jersey, New Hampshire, and like all your hockey like net is very like broadened. But like I've never really even considered like having that kind of camaraderie from like a team that of everyone in your neighborhood that's that level. Kind of reminds me of like the Mighty Ducks in a way.
That's
Yeah, it
Long
was
Beach,
cool.
man.
It's just a very, very local area. And for me, when I went to the Long Island Gulls, that's the moment when kids came from all around the island to come to play together, and that was a big step up for me. I was a squirt at that age, so to meet kids from meet and play with kids from Syosset or Jericho or Oyster Bay, that was all brand new to me. So it was a very, very foreign concept. But and then eventually, as I kind of got older, you play with kids from Missouri, from Pennsylvania, from Maryland, and you're driving all over the place.
Weekends in the car. That is
Yeah,
the hockey lifestyle. Weekends in the car, going one rink to the next. I mean,
I remember.
I want to say my mom brought it up to me like a few weeks ago, and she was like, "You know, I know you didn't like it, but I miss when you had those 6, 7 a.m. games at Long Beach when you were a little kid." And I'm like, "What?" And she was just like, "It was so peaceful down there in the morning." And I saw you do the sign, Paul. Chill out. I don't need that. I'm too old for that. But
Hey, man.
that she was like, "Yeah, I loved those early morning games in Long Beach," and it was like, again, I wasn't crazy about it, but something about being down in Long Beach. It's a hockey town.
Yeah, and I remember as a mite waking up those early morning games in Brewster for the Long Island Hockey League, and like driving to Brewster that far, and then fast forward and you're in high school and you're driving that distance to practice, and you're like, where did this come from? How did
Yeah,
this happen?
yeah. Oh yeah. So I want to talk about now. You started talking about it a little bit. That year, winning the state championship with Long Beach High School, and obviously, Paul and I work a lot with the high school leagues here, the Suffolk League, the Nassau League. Paul primarily in Suffolk because he's out in Smithtown, but I see the Nassau guys all the time. I see, obviously, I've developed a pretty good relationship with Coach Carson over at Long Beach, and I see, I mean, playing in Long Beach too. I know so many Long Beach guys, and like I said, that's just like the community camaraderie there is insane. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody's always like just glued together in a sense, and especially with hockey. And talk about how when you guys did win that state championship, how much having that meant and how much that led to being able to win. Just being able to say, like you said, I played with 12 of these guys when we were 6, 7 years old. And now, we're sophomores, juniors in high school, and we're winning the state championship together. Just talk about that experience.
No, it meant a lot for all of us too, because I mean we were as Long Beach was in a little bit of a drought in terms of winning a state title, but also growing up as a kid. You always you want to play for the high school team. You grow up. I grew up going to those games, and that was the first time seeing kids play, not a pro team play in front of a large crowd, and the atmosphere of those games, the passion all the kids played with. You're like, I want to be there one day. I want to be playing from the crowds. I want to be that guy. And so looking up to those older kids who you hope to follow in their footsteps, and to be able to win a championship that was for myself had a couple prior years of failure. Same with everyone else on the team. It meant a lot to all of us to bring it back home, to win it with each other. Because after that, you have everyone in the hallways around town just congratulating you, and it's a fantastic feeling. But again, to do that with kids that you have known your whole life, and no matter what happened, you're still going to go out and hang out with them or say hi to them down the road, across the street, and it was a feeling you can't recreate.
Yeah, I mean, it's truly something special when you have that community bond and community feeling. And I, in my opinion, I don't think there's another high school program on the island that has what Long Beach has in the sense of everybody who lives here wants to play high school hockey for my town. We have the rink. The entire community is showing up, showing out. I mean, there's a few programs that are close to it, Smithtown Hop Hog and in Suffolk. I think Belmore Merrick does a pretty good job of it. But I think there's a lot of programs that it's difficult for them because there's so many different towns combining together. Whereas Long Beach, it's Long Beach through to the core. And it's, you mentioned it too, the atmosphere at those games is like, I have so much fun calling Long Beach games because it's like, it's going to be a rocking crowd. There's going to be a lot of people there, especially around playoff time and in playoffs. And the entire community is genuinely backing and behind the team. It's so cool to see.
No, absolutely. And I think also, like, I mean, for us, I've known kids who have not gone to Catholic school so they can play for Long Beach. For myself, I went to Portledge my freshman year, and after that, I wanted to go back home to Long Beach because I just wanted to play with the kids I grew up with. I wanted to take that chance with them, and also to see the whole school together. You'll see the way hockey kind of brings the community together. It's unlike it. It's weird too. You think about Beach Town. First thought that comes to mind is surfing. The last thing that comes to mind is hockey.
Yeah, it's truly special. I mean, I even remember when I was playing juniors down there. Like, if there was nothing going on a Saturday night, like, plenty of local people were just showing up to watch the junior game because it's, middle of December. There's nothing happening. Let's go check out the junior hockey team. And like, you would get a couple hundred people in the building. And it's like, whoa, where did this come from? Like, we're not promoting our games. That's not anyone's family members, And it's like, again, I think it just kind of goes to show what hockey does mean down in Long Beach. And like you said, you wouldn't think it, but it really is ingrained in the community of Long Beach. It's truly a big part of it. And I've seen it firsthand. I mean, I played with Kevin Brand, Dylan Radin, Long Beach guys, and like that. I mean, I know that all those guys are still best of friends. They still hang out all the time.
I can confirm that. Yeah.
Yeah, like
that's another thing too, where I've been fortunate enough to the aspect of coming up, looking to all those kids playing on the ice in high school when I'm just in fifth, sixth grade, being like, wow, I want to be on the ice. I want to be where those guys are right now. It's been an honor for myself these past few years to be able to play with all these guys in a charity game each year, and seeing how being the young guy coming into all these guys who their love for the game is still brand new. They still love being around together, and these are guys who've known each other for 20, 30 years, and it's like it's like no time has passed. It's just still pure passion and pure love for the game.
Yeah, it's awesome. And no, I mean, like I said, definitely had to have been a key part in how you guys won that state championship. And I mean, I'm sure that the town was rocking afterwards, and you guys were getting a lot of love.
It was fantastic. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Now, I want to jump back a little bit because you mentioned that your freshman year you went to Portledge prep school, and after a year you wanted to go back because you wanted to be a part of Long Beach. But I know you did not stay at Long Beach for your entire high school career, and that eventually you did end up moving to, what was it, Hotchkiss Prep School. So how was it making that decision? Like, going back, was it that you won the state championship? You felt like you planted your flag and that was it and you were ready to move on? Or because you said that you wanted to go back with the guys you grew up with, but having to leave them behind must have been a hard decision too.
No, it was difficult. Winning the state championship definitely made it easier. It was just for myself that I wanted to kind of continue to push myself both academically and with hockey, and I felt that going to Hotchkiss gave me the best opportunity to do that. Winning the state championship definitely, if that had not happened, would have been a lot of regret and disappointment. So doing that with my friends made it a lot easier to switch. I'd already kind of had an understanding that this was going to happen. It was kind of my last chance to do this. But going to Hotchkiss was just an opportunity for me to push myself academically and push myself with hockey and just embrace a whole new experience. and I'm forever grateful for that as well.
Yeah, I can't imagine like if you guys fell short in that state championship and like overtime or something that like leaving would have been so easy.
Yeah, it was tough. Uh, yeah, that also year we actually lost in the county finals in overtime after giving up, I believe it was a 3 goal lead. Um, so that was devastating. But to have a chance to get a bid to states and to kind of redeem ourselves was meant a lot.
Yeah, definitely, definitely made the most of it as well, being able to grab that state championship. So you talked about making that transition to Hotchkiss and the chance to challenge yourself academically, athletically. Was that decision made in mind of I'm going to pursue Hotchkiss because I want to try to pursue being NCAA Division One or Division Three hockey player?
Absolutely. I think it goes both ways. One, it was to embrace a new atmosphere where I can live with the kids I play with, I can train every day, have access to top-notch facilities, have access to ice essentially 24/7, and also in like growing up, dream was always to play college hockey and pursue that. But at the end of the day, I'd always known that my brain's going to carry me further than playing hockey. So going to Hodges gave me the opportunity to both continue to pursue myself academically, where it gives me the opportunity to get into a good college, and then also to challenge myself on the ice and um, be competitive with my teammates day in and day out, and watch us push each other to be better. And just that overall environment, I'm actually very, very thankful I was kind of thrown into it because I just feel like it allowed me to get the most out of it and to fully embrace that competitive aspect, the day to day aspect of both sides of it.
Now, your decision to go to Hotchkiss, you said like you had aspirations to go to the play NCAA, whether it be D1 or D2. Was it at some point when you were in high school where you maybe felt to yourself like this route may not be exactly where I thought I was going to end up, and made that pivot to juniors, or did you make that pivot to juniors probably prior to that decision?
So for me, I was being recruited by a few schools after I reclassed at Hotchkiss, and going at the end of my junior season, approaching my senior season, I'd been talking to a few coaches, Division 3 wise, and they were some good academic schools. But ultimately, after my junior year, our team was pretty good. We were finished top 5 in all of New England prep, made it to the Elite Eight, which is the top 8 schools in all of prep school for New England, and ultimately lost first round to Dexter, where we just had a lot of injuries. Kids, myself and other kids were sick. We had a couple kids who got surgery the week after. We were just banged up. But ultimately, right after that, we went on spring break and COVID hit, so we never returned back to campus. And because of that, and because of the rules in place, I went 18 months without playing a single hockey game. So of course, if you're definitely made recruiting a lot more difficult, but also for me, which led me to go to juniors, was that I wanted a last chance to play hockey. I wanted to kind of end things on my own terms, and also just love it. Going 18 months without playing a game, as someone who loves hockey, it's unfortunate. It sucks. The competitive aspect of myself, I need to kind of scratch that a little bit, and I wanted to pursue it further. So playing juniors gave me a chance to do that, and I understood that this was my college is going to be there. This is my one opportunity to go do it. So why not go for it?
And you went and did it at a place that I know pretty well, with a guy that I know very, very well, Jason Kilcoyne at the Rockets. And
Yeah.
it was a pretty successful season for you guys. And I obviously got to watch a lot of games close hand because my brother was on the team. But I think what made it cooler was it was 4 of you Long Island boys on the team. It was yourself, my brother Joe, Mikey Stevens, and Brendan Pomerantz. So talk about what that was like. Was that easier making that transition into juniors, having a couple of guys that you had known for such a long time?
No, absolutely. I mean, Joe and I have known each other since Squirts. Pomerantz and Stevens probably since Pee Wee and so on, and you really can't go a week on the island skating around without running into them. It's just the way it
Yeah.
works. Whether it's a camp, whether it's at a rink in Boston, somehow all roads lead there. We always each other rink. We'd been teammates in the past. I had played 15 and 16U or 15U with all three of them. Um, I played 16U with Stevens, and it was a great opportunity. And coming together, just kind of speaks on how small the hockey world is that we all end up in the same junior team. But it definitely made it easier because immediately we bonded. I think to lead to our team, which helped with our team success, was that everyone became very very close. We still talk to this day in our group chat. Um, but that it was groups of kids who'd all grown up together that kind of came together and everyone kind of hit it off right away, which was fantastic. It was. I know some people don't like their teammates. I can't say a single bad thing about anyone on the team.
Yeah, Paul, go ahead. I was just gonna say, like, I think that's something that Jason does a great job of when he's recruiting is getting quality people, good people. He does such a good job of like sifting out who's going to be a cancer and who's going to be a good fit in the locker room, and he always finds a way to get 25 good fits in the room.
Yes, yeah. No, it was a great group of guys.
So I didn't want to cut you off, but just
Before.
to then jump. Obviously, now you are at UGA. You were telling us about a little bit about your weekend plans, which is apparently some sort of Georgia tradition. You guys all seem to have off at the same time for this one great game where you guys match up against University of Florida. Can you talk about the decision of how you ended up in Georgia?
No, absolutely. So from going to juniors, my thought process was to this point I was being recruited by some Division III schools. My goal was to go to the best academic school possible to kind of set myself up for future success the best I can. And I'd been looking at some schools, and honestly, I just didn't really picture myself going to Hotchkiss, which was my graduating class was 170 kids. Portledge was 43. Um, it's small schools. I didn't want to go to another small college where I could walk down the block and know every single person. I can go to class. I can go to a restaurant and I'll know everyone in there. I wanted something that helped me embrace a brand new experience, and also be at a big school where I can kind of meet as many people as possible, be introduced to as many different things as possible. And also, cause my whole life had been about hockey. I also wanted to have an opportunity to embrace some life outside of that. And ultimately, I had some friends who came to the University of Georgia, and they loved it and they raved about it. And I was looking at myself. I was trying to put myself 4 years down the road, kind of graduating college, and looking back, if I would be happy that I played Division III hockey at a small school, where the academics are good or not, or kind of go a completely different route and still have a chance to play hockey, but could get in my opinion a more full experience, a more experience that allows me to embrace something brand new. And also, I've always been a giant sports fan, whether it's hockey, football, and coming down here to kind of scratch all those boxes. It was a brand new experience which spoke a lot to me. I never experienced the South. It's very very different than North in a lot of small ways that add up. Definitely Northern kid at heart, but I love my time out here, and I'm very very happy with my decision. I have had teammates who they went a couple years in Division III, realized it wasn't for them, and transferred out. Still in contact with some of those kids. They kind of ask me my thoughts on it. I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm still playing hockey. I'm still loving it. I'm just kind of I'm getting some other things on the side.
100%, and that's a great way to look at it. Now, did you kind of make that decision while you were still playing for the Rockets, or did kind of the season end, the chips kind of settled, and then you were kind of like, you know what, this is what I'm going to do?
So it was both. For me, I had applied to schools out of Hotchkiss, and then after I realized I was I wanted to play juniors, not going to school. Um, I didn't. I just kind of declined all my acceptances, and at at Rockets, I kind of applied everywhere. I applied to schools I was being looked at for hockey wise. I applied to schools that were just for fun and just academically. And then schools had club hockey. That was definitely a plus. Um, it was about when I kind of got accepted to Georgia. I got that was that was kind of a big turning moment for me. And because I also got denied from a school I was very hopeful to get into, and those kind of happened the same day. And from there, I was like, all right, that's kind of what I wanted to do. And then I kind of made my coach aware of this, that this is what happens. But being the great coach Kilquin is, he's still kind of looking out for you, still talking to coaches, coach coming up to you about his players or talking to him. He's not closing any doors for you. And then so for juniors, we were lucky enough to win a national title. But in our national semifinal, we were up a couple of minutes. Going up, we were back like we were up like 2 goals. I think going to the bench, completely beyond the play. I was cheap shot. I was hit in the head, and I was concussed on spot. And so I from there on, I was not in the shape to play in a championship game, which hurt kind of watching on the sidelines. But that was kind of a moment too where I'm like, I also need to put my health forward. And if I go to a D3 school for ice hockey and this happens again, and I have to kind of hang up the skates for my own safety, I'm kind of at a school where I'm at a school without what I came here for. So I might put myself in a more difficult position. So that was definitely the cherry on the top. But I'd definitely been leaning that way going into the final portions of the season.
Yeah, and I think you said something that's really important there that I don't think a lot of younger players think about is, the health and safety of yourself. And obviously, we learn more and more every single day about our brains, and you don't want to be messing around with that. So,
No.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's something important for younger players to take into consideration that a lot of us, we don't think about. We're just out there playing the game and taking the risks and not even thinking about the risks. So that shows, I think, maturity on your end at that age, at 19 years old, being able to say, look, take a step back and say that. Before we start talking more about UGA, I do want to talk about that national championship. So, like, Paul, to put this in context for you, these guys had to play 7 games in 7 days to win a title. It was the most absurd tournament playoff champion setup I've ever seen in my entire life, but these guys did it. So, just talk to us about that, having to be in the middle of New Hampshire for a week straight in a hotel with the boys with one goal in mind, just winning a title and getting the job done.
I mean, it was pretty crazy because going to that, we were definitely heavily doubted. We weren't even picked out to make. We all knew we had within the locker room the ability to win the whole thing and go all the way far, but from the outside, people didn't even pick us to get a pool play, which definitely fired us up because we knew what we had. Meanwhile, I will say, leading up to that, to win our division, we swept everyone. From there to nationals, we didn't lose a single game, which was just adds to the crazy run we went on. Sweeping both teams in our division again, which we're probably underdogs by a lot of people not to win that, and then go into this kind of marathon of each day, just one day at a time, was special because as we can get on, even though we'd all lived together the whole year, somehow that whole entire last week just brought us even closer together. Whether it was film in the hotel conference room, just hanging out, resting after games, stretching, just each day, it somehow brought us closer together, and we kind of bought in a little bit each more and more. We all trusted each other, and to kind of pull it off in the way we did. Even our coach said it was kind of one of the craziest things he's seen. How we kind of all came together and ultimately won. And we were the way we won. It was almost sad that even though we'd won, it was almost sad just because it was over. This crazy run we were on just came to the best finish possible, but came to an end.
Yeah, and that's the hardest part about junior hockey is like you make all these phenomenal relationships. You create a lifelong memory like that, winning a title, and it's like, well, shit, this is actually the last time I'm going to be on the ice with all you guys.
Yeah.
Like, damn. Then it like sinks in a little bit. But I mean, I remember like I was there. I was fortunate enough that I went to school in New Hampshire, so I could go to the championship game. And I remember being there and like going on the ice. Jason invited me into the championship picture, which was awesome. But I remember being able to, like, as you touched on, seeing the bond and relationship that all you guys had in that celebration. Um, everybody touching the trophy, lifting it, everyone's getting hyped. The captain calls the bus driver over to lift the trophy. Like, it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Like,
Yeah.
it was great, but it was like it almost kind of you know, reminds me of a little bit how you spoke about Long Beach and the relationship that you guys all had. And, you know, it sounds very similar to that, where it was just like everybody loved each other, everybody was bought in, and you know, you all had one common goal in mind.
And no, I think for me that kind of followed me throughout my whole career. The best teams I've been on in terms of performance, in my eyes, having the closest knit teams. Um, it's just something like having a close locker room that carries you miles further than anything else.
100%, 100%. I can say the same thing. I mean, when I won at SNU my freshman year, that was one of the closest teams I've ever been on. You know, it was we were all out together every single weekend. You know, it was on the ice. There was never any issues. Like in the locker room, we all had each other's backs, and it was like that's what it's about. Um, you know, and it seems like now we'll go back to Georgia. It seems like down at Georgia they have built a very good culture and program down there. And I mean, I saw you guys at nationals. Obviously, a ton of talent on the team, but I also got to speak to a bunch of different players on the team. There's obviously a bunch of Long Island blood down there too. But I could see that within the Georgia group as well. That you guys have a very tight knit group, and you have a strong culture within the program that's been built. Just talk a little bit about the UGA hockey program and what it's been like being a part of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a fantastic experience. It's crazy how in these 4 years I've been down here, the program's grown and changed. We've had a lot of great people who've chipped in and paved the path for us, paved the way for the program to be what it is today. From everyone just kind of just buying in, being together. Um, I think for us, when I first came down here, we were probably about 60, 70% in-state kids, and now this year it's probably flipped. We have only about like I think we have like 4 or 5 Georgia kids, which is pretty crazy to think about. But to that standpoint, even though the teams change, we've still remained very very close. Where it's important for us to make sure we're all together because then at the end of the day, kids down here, and one thing we do preach is we're all down here playing hockey because it's something we love. It's something we want to be a part of. It's club hockey. No one has to be here. We understand that we're all down here for the school, for the great opportunities University of Georgia gives us. So we're all on the same standpoint where we need to take our academics serious, and if you have to miss practice for a test, or to study, whatever it is, we fully understand. We embrace that. And also, too, kids in here some of us are in the same fraternity, some of us are in different fraternities, some not fraternities. So balancing that as well. But even through all those different walks, different perspectives, different classes, we still make it a point to all come together, whether that be through bus trips, through practices, through pre-practice court, through just a normal night out, or just an event at someone's apartment. And I think that inclusiveness has helped us bring not only make the program better in terms of our hockey play, but also kind of just grow the team to it is. Um, and our coach has done a very, very good job of making sure that everyone has a place on the team, as well as our captains. Place on the team, people are people there that are going to benefit the program.
This is your time with Georgia. This is your last season. Where do you see yourself after Georgia? Do you see in terms of hockey, at least? I'm not trying to pry about like a job, like I'm one of your relatives, but if do you see yourself playing beer league, getting into a coaching role, whether it's more like a high level travel team or a junior squirt team? Do you see yourself going into any training? Like how do you plan to keep hockey in your life?
That's a good question. I think part of my answer is part of the reason why I ultimately chose to come to Georgia and play club hockey because at the end of the day, whether you stop after high school, you play 20 years in the pro, all leads road all roads lead to beer league. Um, so I mean I'm
That
in
they
leagues
do.
now. It's a way back to it's even now it's a way to see all my buddies I grew up playing with. Some who are still playing hockey very very competitively. Some who are just racing on skates once a week in summer. So I definitely see myself still playing there. Um, if everything works out and it makes sense logistically, I think I'd like to coach. I like to be around the rink. I have some friends doing it now who just want to stay involved and they love it. So I might follow in their footsteps. But also each year, I'm fortunate enough to be part of a team who plays in a charity game for the G2H Foundation honoring Garen Hagen, the Long Beach Guardians. So it's a game each year that we're going into our fourth year now, and I'm the only kid still in college. Um, but everyone there still, well, no one still plays competitive hockey. That's their one competitive game each year, and they find ways to play, whether it's men's league in the summer and now men's league in the fall, practices, scrimmage leading up the game. So I'm very, very lucky to be a part of that, and that'll definitely keep me in the game for the foreseeable future. Um, but I'll definitely keep playing. Hockey to me is fun. It's a fun thing for me to do with my friends, see my friends, and just kind of be a part of the game that's been play the game that's been a part of my life for so long.
And I'm glad you brought up the Long Beach Guardians because I did want to talk about that. Obviously, for those that don't know, we tragically lost Garen Hagen 4 years ago, coming up 4 years now, and just speak to us about what it means being able to play for the Guardians and being a part of the G2H Foundation, and again, just seeing how much the community rallies around, especially that day.
It truly is an honor, and I don't take that. I don't mean that lightly. Uh, with the historic culture Long Beach has with hockey, to be able to be one of the kids, not even kids, one of the people picked to be a part of the team to honor Garen. A kid he was a little younger than me, but had grown around seeing the rink, had lifeguarded with him. Um, I knew his best friends. He and he, it's amazing to see how the community comes together to inspire, to kind of honor him, but also to inspire others. So we know like last year our who we were supposed to play fell through last second. I mean, it's own step in, and obviously people were bummed. We were really looking forward to playing this team, but at the end of the day, it's not who we play; it's why we play, and that definitely rallied us all together. And it's something that will carry through this year and carry through 10 years in the future. It's an honor to be able to get on the ice, bring the community together. It's including state championships. I've never seen that rink as packed. It's powerful the amount in the way people come together to honor not just community, the lives we lost, and the opportunities we can bring with the money we raise, going to local high school students, opportunities around town. Something truly special, and to be one of those younger kids too, where um, I kind of spoken earlier to play with those people I look up to. You want to go out there, you want to play your best and perform your best. And but again, it's kind of the way hockey's brought people together, and to be able to do good with a sport that I've cared about so much in my life means a lot to me. I know it means just as much, if not more, to everyone else in that room.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I've done two Garen Hagen days now. Next year will be my third, and I've seen it grow year over year. And I can only imagine how much it's going to grow for 2026. But as you said, everybody comes out. You get there, it's 4 or 5 hours before the first game, and the parking lot is full. And
Yeah,
everyone's there already. The cold beverages are open and flowing. And it's again just one of those experiences where it's truly the entire community rallies around that day. Everybody comes together for the right reason, to honor Garen, to honor other lives that were lost, and like you mentioned, to raise money to help give back and for good causes. It's Definitely, I think one of the most special days of the year and special days in Long Beach that has truly become an annual part of the town.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy too. Being a player, you can get in the game early and not be able to find a parking spot because everyone's already there. But no, it's wonderful. And this year, I believe the game will be the same time again, first week of April. And it's not set in stone who we're playing yet, but it's the goal each year is to do better than last in terms of the money we raised. I think last year, I could be mistaken, but I believe last year our 50-50 raffle alone, someone won 17 grand. So we do a lot. We really try to make the most of it and raise as much money as possible for everyone to go. It is not hockey related, but we do like those bubble soccer people. They do a race around the ice. It's pretty
That was
fun.
amazing. That was amazing.
But yeah,
Brady and I got to call that, and it was some of the most fun I've ever had calling an event.
it's awesome.
It was like calling a horse race.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Some dude just running around the Long Beach ice arena wearing UGG slippers and a bubble ball.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal day, and truly want to look forward to each year.
Yeah, no, it's again, it's a big day, and I mean, I know Farmingdale now has adopted a Garen Hagen game. They played their first one last year. They're going to be doing another one this year. They'll be playing FAU down in Long Beach because I know Garen had plans of going to Farmingdale and playing there, so it's great to see that Farmingdale continues to honor Garen and keep him in their thoughts and continue to keep the Long Beach community involved in their program as well.
Yeah, and they were the team that stepped up for us last year after team fell through, so a lot of respect to them, and we really appreciate their effort to come and play us and help us save our special day.
Yeah, it truly is a special day down in Long Beach, and I mean, for our listeners that haven't been down for Garen Hagen Day in the past, definitely recommend going down for 2026 because it's a unique event where the entire community comes together, and it's also some really great hockey.
Yeah, and it's not just Long Beach people either. I mean, 2 years ago we played the FDNY, and people from all over the place came. FDNY fans came. The stands are filled with people of all ages, from little kids to grandpas and grandmas. And if you do come, please come and donate. Please help support the cause. It means a lot.
Yeah, so definitely looking forward to 2026. Before we wrap up here, Declan, I mean, I think just in your message alone right now, just talking about the Guardians and Garen and G2H Day, you've provided a lot of reflection and advice. But if you could, pass on a piece of advice to our younger listeners, who possibly going down the same path you're going, maybe trying to decide, do I go to prep school? Do I go to juniors? Do I go NCAA? Do I go club? What piece of advice would you offer to them in making that decision?
I would say embrace all the opportunities hockey gives you. Cherish each one of them. You look back on it, and I'm very, very glad of every chance, every leap of faith I took for hockey and the experiences it brought me. But also, for those kids playing hockey, hockey's not a cookie-cutter route. In the long terms of things, we all play because we love it. And at the end of the day, all roads lead to beer league. Just because things don't work out the exact way you want to, there are ways outside of it. I know for a fact if I went to a Division III school, I would not have the chance I have now to be part of such a giant school spirit, see the best college football team play every weekend. Fortunate enough that we will, as one of our rules on the team is, we will never play a football game or a hockey game during a home football game. Because of our hockey, I've had a chance to travel around to other SEC schools. We do things here where we play a team like this year. We played Auburn Friday, Sunday, and on Saturday we were in Auburn on campus for the Auburn Georgia football game. We've done that for Alabama or Tennessee, and we are very, very lucky to do that. And I know that if I had not gone the club hockey route, I would not have had the opportunity to do so. I would say for those kids, try to take. I know it's very, very difficult. I was in those same shoes. Try to take a step back and try to picture try to take a broader view at it. And at the end of the day, we're all still playing hockey, and we're playing because we love it. So just embrace that.
Very well said. I love it. Paul, do you have anything else that you would like to add? Ask Declan
I
before
mean,
we wrap up.
I really just like the calculated scheduling where you'll schedule a 2-game weekend against Auburn when Georgia's in Auburn. Like that's that's awesome.
We're very lucky. I think probably one of the coolest ones we got to do was last year. We as a team we bussed to Austin, Texas. Long bus ride, but it was a lot of fun. So we were there Friday, had a chance to explore Austin Friday night. Went to the game on Saturday, played and got to see a Texas versus Georgia game, which was fantastic. And then Sunday we played them again. And that part of that too is the chance to go around and explore these new places, and also just further team camaraderie, get closer to the team, closer to the group, experience something brand new altogether. But also kind of experience something cool at that. Traveling sucks, but when you have something like that to look forward to, it makes up for it in a heartbeat.
Makes that bus ride go a lot faster when you're
It does.
with a good group of guys, and you know that
Yeah.
at the end of that ride, it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, pretty special opportunity that I wouldn't have had a chance to if I didn't come down here. So
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like University of Georgia is an awesome place. It sounds like it's a ton of fun. I mean, it sounds like you're gonna have a good time this weekend with the University of Georgia and University of Florida football rivalry. That's gonna be a good one. And I mean, Declan, thank you again for taking the time out, chatting with us, sharing your story. It was awesome getting to sit with you and talk and hear your perspective on things. Obviously, hear about everything that's going on down at UGA, the culture that you guys are building, and hopefully one day we see SEC and NCAA D1 hockey, and we'll all be able to look back and say, it was the team that Declan Conway was on that helped to get that going.
yeah, I mean we have the Rinks for it now.
I hear that that's one of the nicest arenas in the Federal League.
I bar none, and it's also sold out every single game, 5,500 seats. It's crazy. I mean, for us, we have to buy ice there, and so we have to sell over 500 tickets just to kind of break even. We get around 1,000 fans a night, and because the stadium's so big, even though that's a lot for club hockey, a lot for a D3 hockey team. But because the rink's so big that it doesn't even look that packed, but it's still an awesome atmosphere to play in. And the rink's beautiful. I can't say enough about it. Having a rink on campus where I'm used to drive an hour away, opposed to now it's a 5-minute walk. You can't beat that.
Doesn't get much better than that.
No.
Declan, much success to you and the University of Georgia Bulldogs the rest of the way this year. I'm sure you guys are going to make some noise down south. I'm sure that we're going to be seeing a lot of UGA hockey posts from the College Hockey South account over the next few months. And as you guys make another run towards a national title, best of luck to you personally with everything at school. Wrap it up, get that degree, get that beautiful, beautiful piece of paper. But most of all, keep having fun down there. Sounds like an awesome experience.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me on. It was a pleasure. It's great talking with you guys.
That's going to do it for us here for this episode. On behalf of our guest tonight, Declan Conway, the esteemed co-host, our banana, Paul Trentini. I'm Travis Quigley. Make sure you follow Declan on social media. Follow us at LISN on social media. Subscribe on YouTube. You can find Rinks and Realities on YouTube and on Spotify. And, of course, check back in with us next week for another episode of Rinks and Realities powered by the LI Sports Network. Specific person that really first brought you into the game.
Yeah, so to delve into the latter part of that question, the person that brought me into ice hockey was my dad. Both my parents immigrated here from Russia, so I think hockey was definitely the one sport I think that my parents